Liam, the nurse's voice was soft, but it cut through the heavy air of the waiting room like a scalpel. I stood up, my legs trembling beneath me, not from fear, but from the sheer weight of what was coming. Beside me, Sophie's fingers tightened around mine, her grip desperate, as if she could somehow anchor me to this moment, to this life we'd built together. But her hand felt small now, fragile, like the last thread holding me to the shore before the current dragged me under. Dr. Reynolds sat behind his desk, his expression unreadable. Calm, always so damn calm. That was what terrified me most, not the sterile smell of the office, not the way the fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, but the fact that he didn't look nervous. If he wasn't nervous, then this was real. This was happening. Please, sit, he said, gesturing to the chairs across from him. We sat. Sophie's knee bounced beside mine, a frantic rhythm that matched the pounding of my heart. Dr. Reynolds opened the folder in front of him, glanced at the contents, then met my eyes. No preamble, no softening, just 3 words that shattered everything. It's lymphoma. The room tilted, the edges of my vision blurred. I heard Sophie suck in a sharp breath beside me, felt her nails dig into my palm. What kind? She asked, her voice steadier than mine could ever be right now. Stage 2 Hodgkin's. It's treatable, he added quickly, like that was supposed to make it better. Like treatable didn't still mean cancer. We caught it early. The survival rate. Wait, my voice cracked, splintered. Cancer. He nodded once. Yes. Sophie's grip turned vice-like. What now? Chemo scans, a few tough months. But you're young and otherwise healthy. We'll fight it. I didn't hear anything after that. The words dissolved into static, a high-pitched whine filling my skull. I stared at the diplomas on the wall behind him, framed accolades, proof of his expertise, but all I could think was, asterisk, this can't be real. This can't be my life, asterisk. Sophie squeezed my hand, hard enough to hurt. We'll get through this. I nodded, but the motion felt hollow, automatic, like my body was going through the motions, while the rest of me was already drowning. We left the office in silence. The hallway stretched too long, the fluorescent lights too bright. The air smelled like antiseptic and false hope. In the car, Sophie finally spoke. Say something. What should I say? I don't know. Anything. I have cancer. She flinched like I'd slapped her. Don't say it like that. Double quotes. Why not? My voice was raw. It's true. She didn't answer. The rest of the drive passed in silence, the weight of it pressing down on us until I could barely breathe. That night, she made tomato soup and grilled cheese my comfort meal, the one she always made when I was sick or stressed or just needed reminding that I was loved. I stared at the bowl, the steam curling upward, and felt nothing. No hunger, no warmth, just a yawning emptiness where my appetite should have been. She didn't force me to eat. We lay in bed later, her arm draped over my chest, her head on my shoulder. I stared at the ceiling, tracing the cracks in the plaster with my eyes, counting them like sheep. I'm not going anywhere, she whispered into the dark. I wanted to believe her. More than anything, I wanted to. Promise. The word came out small, broken. She pressed closer. I promise. I closed my eyes. Sleep came in fits and starts, dreams full of needles and white coats, and the sound of my own heartbeat echoing in my ears. When I awoke, the bed was cold. Sophie, no answer. I sat up, my heart hammering against my ribs. The apartment was too quiet. No hum of the coffee machine. No soft shuffle of her slippers on the hardwood. I checked the bathroom, empty. The closet. Her favorite jacket was gone, her shoes, the little stack of books she kept on her nightstand. On the kitchen table, a single sheet of paper, folded neatly in half. My hands shook as I picked it up. Liam, I'm sorry. I thought I could do this, but I can't. I love you, but I'm not strong enough. Please don't hate me, Sophie. I read it once, twice, a third time, as if the words might rearrange themselves into something that made sense. I didn't cry, not at first. I just stood there, holding that stupid piece of paper, staring at her handwriting, the loops of her L's, the sharp angle of her S, and tried to understand how love could turn to dust overnight. My phone buzzed. Jake, I ignored it. Then my mom called. I let it ring. I walked to the bathroom, flicked on the light, and stared at my reflection. Same face, Same eyes, same me, but different. Broken in ways I didn't know a person could break. I slid to the floor, pressed my forehead to the cool tile, and finally let the tears come. Next chapter. The oncology ward smelled like bleach and something faintly metallic. I sat in the recliner, arm outstretched, watching the fluor drip into my vein. The liquid was clear, innocuous. It didn't look like poison. Nurse Rita crouched beside me. "You okay?" I shook my head. "No." She smiled, just a little. "Honest. I like that. I feel like I'm about to throw up." "You probably will." "Great. You'll survive." "That's what they keep telling me." She patted my knee. "You're tougher than you look." "I don't feel tough." "Most people don't, but they are anyway." I closed my eyes, counting each drip. 1, 2, 3. I made it to 47 before bolting for the bathroom. I didn't reach the toilet, just the sink. I heaved until my ribs ached, until my throat burned, until there was nothing left inside me but emptiness. Then hands gentle, pulling my hair back. "Breathe, Liam," Rita murmured. "Just breathe." She handed me a paper towel. "Welcome to the party." I wiped my mouth. "This sucks." "Yeah," she agreed. "It really does." "Cassie," that's when I noticed her buzzed hair. Oversized hoodie. A grin like she'd already seen the worst the world had to offer, and decided to laugh in its face. She waved from across the room like we were old friends. I blinked. "Do I know you?" "Nope." She plopped into the chair beside me. "I'm Cassie. You're Liam, right?" "First round." I nodded. "Sucks, huh?" Understatement. She leaned closer. "Wanna compare scars sometime?" I stared. She rolled up her sleeve. A jagged line ran down her forearm. "Port removal. Battle mark." I glanced at my IV. "Mine's too fresh." She grinned. "Give it time. You'll earn your stripes." "You always this upbeat." "Only on Thursdays." "It's Monday." "Guess I'm early." I laughed and immediately winced. "You don't look sick," she said. "Neither do you." "I puked in a potted plant last week." "I cried over a burnt bagel yesterday." "Cancer doesn't care about dignity." "True." She leaned back. "Anyway, you looked like someone who needed a friend." "I look that pathetic." "You look scared." "That's not the same thing," I exhaled. "I am scared." "Good. Means you're paying attention." Nurse Rita walked by. "Cassie, stop harassing the new kid." Cassie winked. "I'm easing him in." Rita rolled her eyes. "Don't scare him off." "I'm staying," I said quietly. Cassie's smile softened. "Good." The betrayal? A week later, Jake barged into my apartment without knocking. "Dude, you need to see this." He shoved his phone at me. Instagram Sophie. Grinning on the hood of a car. My car next to some guy with a jawline sharp enough to cut glass. Caption: "New adventures with Drew." "That's your hoodie she's wearing," Jake snarled. "The one she'd cried into the night I got diagnosed." I made it to the trash can before vomiting. Jake hovered in the doorway, his anger a living thing. "She's trash." I didn't argue. Later we sat on the couch, the silence thick and suffocating. "You gonna block her?" Jake asked. I opened my phone, scrolled through our photo Sophie at the beach. Sophie laughing with ice cream on her nose. Sophie asleep on my shoulder. I deleted them all, except one. Her curled against me, my arm around her. Caption: "I'm not going anywhere." I saved it, printed it, folded it, shoved it in a drawer. "She doesn't deserve space in your head," Jake said. "I don't know how to forget someone who promised forever." "You don't. You just learn to remember quieter." Months passed, chemo scans, endless fatigue. Then Dr. Reynolds walked in grinning. "Last round today. Cassie, now my chemo session buddy," whooped. Graduation day. Her little brother Leo waved a handmade bell. "You get to ring the real one after the 4 finished." Rita unhooked me. "Go on." The bell hung in the hallway. I gripped the rope, pulled, the sound echoed through the ward. Leo cheered. Cassie hugged me. Rita wiped her eyes. For the first time in months, I felt light. Later, I got a job at a used bookstore, the kind with creaky floors and the scent of old paper. One day while sorting boxes, I found a photo Sophie and me at a pumpkin patch, her lips pressed to my cheek. I tore it in half, no drama, no tears, just letting go. Later I pulled out a new photo from my wallet, Cassie, Leo and me at the lake, soaked and sunburned mid-laugh. Cassie had dragged me there post-treatment. You need vitamin D, she'd insisted. I'd protested. She'd pushed me in. I traced the image now. This was my life. Messy, loud, alive. I slipped it back into my wallet. Outside, the sun rose. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't just survive. I breathed.